Good day, viewers, and welcome to the Sport Rep Show. I'm your host, Limba Mupetami. There's nothing to eat, says Benjamin Rebang, the Namibia Boxing Federation president. Well, of course, if you want to know more about why he made these statements, you should read today's Namibian Sun. And moving onwards, Namibia is aiming for Paris ticket in Agra, and financial hiccups leave basketballers hopeless. These and more are lined up for today's Sport Rep Show right after the break. A group of disgruntled boxing enthusiasts have demanded that executives in the Namibia Boxing Federation, including the president, Benjamin Rebang, be reshuffled, alleging that nothing is being done to uplift amateur boxing in the country. On claims that he and other executives are eating the federation's money, Rebang said there is nothing to eat. This story is in today's Namibian Sun, of course, if you are watching the show in Namibia. Catch it, read it, be enlightened on the situation, and let us know what you think. Now, ongoing financial constraints have forced the Namibia Basketball Federation to withdraw its men and women's teams from the upcoming Afro-Basket Zone 6 qualifiers slated for Zimbabwe this month. Namibia was set to join the likes of Angola, Botswana, Lesotho, Malawi, Mozambique, South Africa, and host Zimbabwe at the competition. But the MBF has since confirmed that they withdrew due to lack of funds. The competition is set for the 20th till the 28th of February. The Namibia Cycling Federation has selected a strong women's team to compete at the Africa Cycling Championships in Accra, Ghana next week, where international ranking points and qualification for next year's Paris Olympic Games will be up for grabs. These women are Vera Lusa, Melissa Hins, Courtney Liebenberg, and Andre Krugel. Up next is an interview with Namibia Football Association's League Director Mabos Fries as he speaks about the Deb Marine Premiership and his hopes and wishes for it right after the break.
Sport Rep is joined by League Director Mabos Fries. That's the NFA League Director. Welcome, Mr. Mabos.
Yes, thank you, Jake. For welcoming me and also inviting me to the platform.
Okay. It has been a season of ups and downs so far, but I'm sure there can be a lot of positives from it. Football clubs still playing and all that. How can you sum it up in a few words?
Yes, thank you for the question. Just the most important thing is the commitment that the clubs have made, first of all, to bring football back by compromises and sacrifices they made to ensure that football is played in Namibia. And I'm talking about all football over the country, not specifically only on the MPFL. Secondly, the season has started well. 90% of our leagues are active. There's only 2-3 leagues that will still kick off during the next 2-3 weeks. But all football is played all over Namibia this time.
Mm-hmm. So how have you guys managed to manage this? I know that there has been a lot of, in terms of funds have been limited and all that. How have you guys been able to manage this?
It's not actually managing it. We trying our level best to use the limited resources which is to our disposal to see how best we can manage them. The important thing is that the clubs are the ones which is making those sacrifices to ensure that football is played, and we need to applaud the clubs for that. There is a lot of expenses that they are occurring, especially during this time. Football has been played for 2 months. There are some clubs that probably have still some challenges of cash flow problems, but they are trying the level best to ensure that football is played in the country.
Okay, speaking of challenges, is there any plans to actually make sure or to ease the pressure of clubs going forward?
Yes, we have actually ventured into Plan B, how we can assist the clubs. So that is a process that we are pursuing. We believe that the process can bring in positive results so that the clubs can be, at least be sustainable and ensure that they can honor the obligations up to the end of the season.
The end of the season, yes. A couple of matches have been played. As a league director, are you happy with the quality on the field?
Yes, from last week, you will see some clubs have collected maximum points, some have dropped points, but even if you look into the log standing downwards, there are a few clubs that you don't expect to be there, but they're also improving. The ones on top, they're also maintaining to be on top. So I am expecting a very competitive season now, especially that we will have promotion and relegation by the end of the season in all the leagues. Not only in the MPFL, but in all the leagues, teams will be relegated, some teams will be promoted. So it's actually action time. Yes. The fitness of the players as well as the performance of the players have also improved, especially if I go back to the match reports of the referees. Cautions are also less now because you can really see that players are start focusing because they are not held back by unfitness during the matches.
Yes,
yes.
The fitness levels have
yes.
improved. Yes, I think you've mostly spoken of that's the NPFL. What can you say about the lower divisions and the first divisions? Quite impressive indeed that they are still continuing, and you could see some teams are actually really vying for those top positions. How has that been in terms of administration and all?
Yes, so far we didn't get any complaints or concerns that have been raised by the members and by the clubs as well as the members. They are in full swing. One thing that everybody has probably realized is the promotion of our matches. All the matches all over the country on social media. It is very, very applaudable from our side. We really appreciate the clubs, what they are doing, the management as well as the leagues. So far, I think Southern First Division will play the last matches of the first round this coming weekend, and then they will go into recess before they start of the second. But even on our first division, our second division level, some clubs are already in the fourth round. Most of them 95% of them are playing double headers over the weekend. So far, I've only picked up only one region which is playing one matches because they're actually in the same area. Teams are not traveling far distances, so they play a single matches over the weekend, but the rest of the leagues are playing double headers over the weekends.
Okay. In terms of stadiums and all, how has the association managed to actually secure that, or was that the responsibility of the clubs?
You see, none of us in football own stadiums. It's privately owned or government owned. And at this stage, all the stadiums where we are playing is not fit, 100% fit. Although they are meeting the minimum requirements of stadiums. So we have to engage the stakeholders, especially the owners of the stadiums, so that they can start improving the stadiums. Because as our motto is saying, taking the game to the people. So if we want to take the game to the people, we need to ensure that the infrastructure is available in its adequate so that you can play football. Because we want to develop football from grassroots level up to the Namibia Premier Football level. So for NFA, it's a huge challenge, but we know that the FIFA will assist us as long as we are doing the right things, as long as we come up with strategic plans, and have a clear vision what we want to achieve in the football. What is that we want to do for Namibia as a football administration.
Okay. In terms of the sponsorship, I'm sure you have a close relationship with the sponsor, which is currently Dep Marine Namibia for the Premiership. So have they responded? Have they given any heads up about planning to go forward next season, or are we still just testing the waters this season?
I would say with regard to the sponsors, there is our time to show the sponsors what we are capable of. So for this season, for us it's a testing ground, so they can show the sponsors that we know what we are doing, we understand what we are doing, we know the way how we have to manage football. So coming back to the question of Dep Marine, the contract has been signed for the season only, but very good thing is that they have the first option on refusal for the way forward. So it's not that they're only here depends on how we perform. And we are really trying our level best to show that we know what we are doing and we understand what we are doing, and we can add value to their brand.
Okay. Has your office received any complaints in terms of officiating and all that? Or is the standard of refereeing in the league also at the top level?
Yeah, that's one thing that I need to share with the nation, is that we have, as the institution NFA itself, referees have been neglected all these years. We never had a proper development structure when it comes to refereeing. And that is one of the things that is a negative impact on us nowadays. Even the fact that we have been playing active football for 4 seasons. So referees was never active. The same as us as administration. We've been inactive. It's the same with the referees. So people are expecting the referees to shine overnight. They also have to go through those phases to where they will see, where we can say that now they have reached a level. We can say now we have our referees at that top level. So let's give them time. Let's be patient with them as well. But we are pushing them. Those who are responsible for the referees development, they are pushing it. The only thing is that to develop referees comes of funding. So once we are secure enough funding, the rollout for development of referees will for sure take place in all 14 regions. In the same way, I will need to also invite people who will have the interest in refereeing in football, because refereeing also became a career in football. So if you start at an early age, then you can, as the referee in South Africa, he retired from refereeing at the age of 32 years at the World Cup. Yes. So if you're starting at a very early age, the sky is the limit for everything as well.
Yes. What is the NFA doing, or not the NFA, the league itself doing to improve the referee situation and all that?
Refereeing is a standalone department on its own. Refereeing is a service provider to us. So as the NFA, what we have to make sure is that we have the required funding for them for development purposes. So they rely on the NFA through FIFA for funding to ensure that they have the development programs are taken care of, and then to have a big pool of referees at the end of the day.
Okay. As a league director, have you had any complaints from players in terms of payments, late salaries, or any of that throughout the season?
Not at this stage. Yes, we don't have anything from the players about unpaid salaries and so on. You see, there are some with the registration process. Some players are registered as professionals. Some players are registered with amateurs. That is on our records. So probably the ones on the contracts, they are the ones who should be paid based on the arrangement between the employee and the employer and the employee. So for now, but we didn't receive any queries or misunderstandings or disputes from players so far, or even have any knowledge about that.
Okay. In terms of spectators, are you happy, satisfied with the fans in terms of attendance and games? And are all the games actually being paid at the gate, or are there some matches that are free in terms of the divisions?
At the MPFL, where I have a direct responsibility, the entrance fee is $30 currently. All the matches are paid for. Or coming back to the supporters of the fans base, all of us know that we are competing with international football. And it's so funny, if you are reading social media, how especially Africans are so much interested in foreign football, but locally they are not. But it's also, we can also be the one of the culprits because of that. But I can assure the people that we are working on a program where we will for sure make sure that football will be the brand in Namibia in the next 2 to 3 seasons.
That would be a great thing. But would you commend the spectators that have been coming to the stadiums though? For sure.
Because it's not the expected numbers, but at least the biggest challenge is that we're not playing in Garatura. We're not playing in Komazal. We can't play our A-level matches in Komazal because it's the only field that's currently available. So all our matches are playing in town. Now, our people have to travel with taxis. So you have to spend a day to watch one match on Saturday, $100. are we really trying to say that we are developing football? Now, coming back to those who are responsible and also a stakeholder to bring football back to the people, it's the local authorities. So we will for sure appeal to the city of Windhoek to come to the table and make sure that we can start using the Kadura Stadium. Then you can expect numbers. But with the current situation, you can't even talk about or question the attendance if we are not making the environment conducive for those who want to have football.
Okay, last but not least, in terms of clubs making their own funding and gaining sponsorships, have you seen any movement in terms of that, and is it something that you would encourage?
Yeah, for sure. That's the reason why chess branding has been allowed with the current agreement with our sponsor. So clubs can go and source for their own sponsorship. And I think that is one of the achievements during our negotiations, that clubs can source for their own sponsors, which was not the case in the past. But now club can source for their own sponsors. The other thing as well is that the new thing that we brought in now is that clubs are subsidized by the league with a certain amount, and clubs have the responsibility to report back on that funding that they are getting from the league. And so far, I went through that, and I could see that there's a substantial amount that the club management and the club directors and owners are also contributing to the maintaining of the club. So these people are spending their own money to maintain the clubs so that we can see football, so that you can write about football. So you are also benefiting out of someone else's expenses. Mm-hmm. So please also take note of that, that football, make sure that there's something on the back pages. What are we getting out of you guys
All right.
for that?
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Friese.
It's always a pleasure.
Welcome to the Zoom In segment. And of course, we caught up with Carlos de Sousa from the Sousa MMA studio. He's taking a group of martial arts fighters to Serbia for the International Mixed Martial Arts Championship. Have a listen to this interview.
Carlos de Sousa of Sousa MMA Studios in Windhoek. We welcome to the Sport Rep show in TV. I'm here to talk about MMA Namibia's departure next week, if it's next week, to the World
Championships.
Yeah, the Amateur Championships in Belgrade,
Yes.
Serbia. How's things going?
It's going quite well. We obviously, like I said, the politics, the red tape behind our back. But yes, we passed that. We're going to keep on moving forward. We focused on the Worlds. The boys are very focused, very fit. They're breaking records. I'm putting records on them. Even today, I'm writing a new program for them to see if I can break them. So it's pretty much like coach and athlete challenge. I try and break them with times, and they try and prove me wrong. I enjoy it. I love it. We're obviously leaving on the 8th. We departure from the 8th of February. We are pretty much on almost 2 days on airline, because we have to go from here to South Africa, then from South Africa to Istanbul, and Istanbul to Belgrade in Serbia, and that's our flights. That's when we're planning. Obviously, on our return, we are looking at returning, because I'm going to take the boys. The tournament ends on the 18th. We'll be there for an extra 2 days in thing. I'm going to take the boys for a tour around Europe a bit, or around Serbia itself. So yeah, it's my hometowns, so I pretty much know what to do. That's my backyard, in other words, if they want to say it. But yeah, we're very, very focused. We've got Vaya that's focused. We're all injury free. That is the beauty of it. That is so blessed on that department. Unfortunately, we've had one gentleman that has fallen down with flu. We're still trying to see if we can put him on. Maybe we'll have to go on a later flight or any other kind of story. But it's all depends on his medical. If he does not pass his medical, we've already sent him on Tuesday. Doctors were not happy with it. We'll try again on Monday to see if he's approved by the doctors. If the doctors don't approve it, unfortunately, one of the gentlemen will have to stay behind and then get maybe ready for the African Games that are happening at the end of April, soon to be announced also.
Carlos, the support from IMMAF and IMMAF Africa and our local Namibian Sport Commission after the recognition of the NFK from IMMAF. How do you cope? What is the support from them?
So, first the support has been great from the local sports commissioner. Freddie Simati himself has been backing us left, right, and centre. No, there hasn't been a no from him at all. There's a huge support there. Then obviously I've been in contact with Raymond Phillips. He's the president of IMMAF Africa. I mean, even yesterday he still sent me a voice message saying, Carlos, don't worry, everything is going to be sorted out. You have our support from us. Please just come, bring the team to Namibia, take the Namibian team to Serbia, bring the boys, we will sort it out. Obviously, IMMAF World, now this is Keith Brown and Denzel White and Dr. Alexandra, and there's obviously a few other gentlemen and ladies that are on the board. They asked for a meeting with me in Belgrade to resolve this matter that we're having, this dilemma that we're having here. I hope it's good news. I've been promised it's good news, as I've been speaking to Raymond Phillips himself, and I hope it stays that way. We also, from them we've had huge support. They've not backed down from us. They haven't turned us around. They've been very, very supportive, making sure that we have the right accommodations, we have the right places, the support is there. We've been our passports even had to go to Angola because we don't have a Serbian consulate in Namibia. That has happened in lack of short time. Usually those takes 2 to 3 weeks. We've managed to do it in 7 days. That's the support we've been getting from everybody. The Serbia embassy, the Raymond Phillips from the African president of IMMAF, and everybody else, even IMMAF World, the board, people from the board. Obviously, there's a hell of a lot of people in that board. I can't mention all their names, but my wife has been on Zoom calls day in, day out, trying to help us here, left, right, etc. I must be honest, at the moment, I don't know any other organization more organized than IMMAF at the moment.
Carlos, what is the possibility, the chance that the African MMA Africa Championships can be held in Windhoek?
Well, obviously I don't want to jump the gun, but it is what it is. I'm a guy that can't keep secrets, those type of secrets, in other words. One of the reasons I think they've been asking for me to have an urgent meeting with me in Belgrade with all these gentlemen and all these ladies of the world, the presidents, vice president, directors, and all the kinds, even the president of Africa and all the kind of story, giving me vote of confidence also. They want to host an African game in Namibia. Maybe it will happen still this year. We are praying for that, and we'll probably see. But I can only give you an answer once I've come back from there. But if it doesn't happen this year, we're definitely going to fight for it in 2024.
Okay. Carlos, yes, good luck to the boys.
Yes, thank you.
Yourself, with the travels to Belgrade, and best wishes, and thank you for your time.
Yes, and just to put another one.
The Namibia Cricket Academy Night Cricket Bash Tournament for Under-12s is back. It will take place at the Trusco United Stadium. 4 teams will face off in an attempt to be crowned the Night Cricket Bash Tournament champion. With over 50 under-12 players, it is said to be an exciting tournament. The tournament will run till the 23rd of February. Well, of course, we caught up with Dixon Vambe and all the captains of the teams which will be taking part in the tournament. Have a listen to what they had to say, and of course that will conclude today's show. So do catch us again tomorrow, same place, same time.
My name is Dixon Vambe from Namibia Cricket. We'll be hosting the Night Cricket Bash starting the 3rd of February, and we'll be running through the whole month of February. The Night Cricket Bash is focused on all the under-12 players in our academy and a few invitational players in and around Windhoek. And it's just creating a platform beginning of the year for young cricketers in Namibia to come and showcase their talent and just get an opportunity to present and represent their schools and represent their names from where they come from, and play cricket at a much larger stage. I think we relate the Night Cricket Bash to our own version of the IPO cricket, but in Namibia. It's a nice setting. It's it's during the evening, and it also brings families together. It's during the evening on a Friday and a Wednesday evening, and families can come and sit next to the field, braai. And over the past 6 years, it has really shown that we've been doing quite well. And this year we have 4 teams that have taken part, so that's more than 50 cricketers, 50 young cricketers, 50 young Namibian cricketers that we're bringing up to a platform of great competition.
Hi, my name is David Berg, and I'm the captain of the Rebels, and my favorite cricket player is Virat Kohli.
My name is Gilmer Horn, and I'm the captain of the Southern Sparrows. My favorite cricket player is Dewald Brevis, and
my name is Nasha Chinembiri. I'm the captain of Tosha Giants, and my favorite player is Farid Khan.
Hello, my name is Wiseman Dangarambezi, and I school in St. George's. I've been playing cricket since I was 6 years old. And the reason why I've been playing cricket is because I saw some kids playing cricket on the field. So I decided to join them. Then it became fun, so I joined the club, and then I improved there since. The reason my favorite cricket player is Stephen Smith.